Have you ever reached the end of a long, exhausting day and quietly asked yourself, why am I working so hard, but my life still feels the same? You wake up early. You do what is expected of you. You take care of everyone around you. You keep moving forward even when you feel tired. But after years of effort, a painful thought appears. What if I spend my whole life working hard, but never actually move forward? If you have ever felt this way, stay with me. Because today's story is about a young woman who discovered that sometimes the problem is not a lack of effort. Sometimes, it is that we are spending all our energy surviving today, while forgetting to build tomorrow. Before we begin, I want to ask you something. What is one dream you keep postponing because life keeps getting in the way? Share it in the comments. Your words might encourage someone who feels the same. Emily Carter was 24 years old. She worked at a small family restaurant in the city. Everyone loved Emily. Not because she was the fastest worker, not because she was the loudest person in the room. They loved her because she cared. She remembered customers' names. She noticed when someone looked sad. She always found a way to make people feel seen. But there was one person Emily had slowly forgotten to care for: herself. Every month, Emily worked hard. And every month, almost everything she earned disappeared. Rent, bills, helping her family, supporting the people she loved. She never complained. She was grateful that she could help. But some nights, sitting alone in her small apartment, she would look around and quietly wonder, when does my own life begin? Emily was not lazy. She was not careless. She was simply tired. The kind of tired that comes from giving everything you have, but feeling like you were standing in the same place. She felt like she was running every day, but never reaching a new destination. Then one ordinary morning, something unexpected happened. The restaurant was quiet when an elderly man walked in. His name was Daniel Brooks. He was 70 years old. His hair was silver. His face carried the gentle marks of a life full of experiences. He walked slowly, but there was something peaceful about him. He was not the kind of person who demanded attention. He was the kind of person people noticed because of his calm presence. Daniel was a retired architect, but Emily did not know that at first. What caught her attention was not his age or his profession. It was what he was doing while waiting for his coffee. He was drawing. Not random drawings. Detailed sketches. Buildings. Paths. Small notes written beside them. Emily placed his coffee on the table. You really enjoy drawing, don't you? Daniel looked up and smiled. I do. He looked down at his sketches. I spent most of my life creating things that did not exist before. Emily looked at the paper. Buildings. Daniel smiled. Yes, but I learned something interesting. What? He gently tapped the paper. Every building begins the same way. Emily looked curious. How? With a blank page. Daniel turned the paper toward her. Before a beautiful building stands in the world, someone first has to imagine it, plan it, and patiently build it. Emily smiled. I wish life was that simple. Daniel looked at her carefully. What do you mean? For some reason. Emily answered honestly. I work hard every day. She paused. But sometimes I feel like nothing is changing. Daniel did not immediately respond. Instead, he took another piece of paper from his folder. This one was different. It was not an architectural drawing. It had simple sketches of a person standing at different points in life. Emily leaned closer. What is this? Daniel smiled. This is something I started drawing years ago. He pointed to the first picture. A person standing at the beginning of life. Then he pointed to another. A person standing at a turning point. Then another. A person looking back and wondering why they never chose a different path. Emily became quiet. Daniel looked at her. Emily, do you know the biggest difference between people who transform their lives and people who stay stuck? She shook her head. They recognize their turning points. He pointed at the paper. Life gives everyone moments where they can choose a new direction. Some people notice those moments. Others ignore them because change feels uncomfortable. Emily looked at the drawing. Daniel continued. Most people spend their lives maintaining. They wake up. They work. They pay bills. They solve problems. And they repeat the same cycle. He paused. Maintaining is necessary, Emily. But if you only maintain your life, who is building the future version of you? Those words stayed in the air. Emily looked down. Because deep inside, she knew he was right. Daniel noticed Emily had become quiet. He did not want to give her a simple motivational speech. He knew that words alone rarely change people. People change when they see something differently. He opened his old folder again and removed another sheet of paper. This time, The drawing showed two paths. One path was straight and comfortable. The other path was longer, filled with small obstacles, but it moved upward. Emily looked at it. What does this mean? Daniel smiled gently. This is the choice every person faces. He pointed to the first path. This road represents comfort. It is the road where we keep doing what we already know. He pointed to the second path. This road represents growth. It is uncertain. It is uncomfortable, but it leads somewhere new. Emily looked at the drawing carefully. Why do people choose the first road? Daniel looked out of the window. Because the first road does not ask them to become someone different. He turned back to her. Change is difficult because before your life changes, you have to change the way you see yourself. Still wondering when her own life would begin, she slowly shook her head. I don't want that. Daniel nodded. Good. Emily looked surprised. Good. Yes. He smiled. Because awareness is the beginning of change. Daniel reached into his bag one more time. He pulled out an old book. The cover was worn. The pages had small notes written in the margins. Emily looked at it. You have had this book for a long time. Daniel smiled. Many years. Why are you giving it to me? Daniel placed it gently in her hands. Because sometimes the right words find us at the right moment. Emily looked at the book. What is it about? Daniel answered. It is about growth, discipline, and becoming the person you were meant to become. Then he added, but don't just read it. Emily looked at him. How should I read it? Slowly. Think about every idea. Write your thoughts. Ask yourself difficult questions. He smiled. A good book does not magically change your life. It changes the way you think. And when your thinking changes, your choices begin to change. And when your choices change, your life follows. Emily held the book carefully. She felt something she had not felt in a long time. Hope. Before Daniel left, he handed her the drawing paper. Keep this. Emily looked at it. Why? Because there will be days when you doubt yourself. There will be days when learning feels too hard. There will be days when you wonder if your effort is worth it. He pointed at the drawing of the two paths. On those days, remember this. The person you want to become is built by the decisions you make today. Daniel smiled. Emily listened carefully. Daniel picked up a pencil. Let me show you something. He drew a small circle. This is where most people live. He wrote, today. They spend all their energy solving today's problems. Then he drew a second circle ahead. He wrote, tomorrow. But tomorrow does not build itself. He connected the two circles with small lines. Tomorrow is built by the choices you make today. He looked at Emily. The hour you spend learning. The habit you build when nobody is watching. The skill you develop when nobody is praising you. Those small things become the foundation of your future. Emily whispered, but I already work so hard. Daniel nodded. I know you do. His voice became softer. And that is why this matters. He looked at her with kindness. Hard work is powerful, Emily. But hard work without direction can keep a person busy without moving them forward. Emily looked down at her hands. Those words touched something inside her. Because she had always believed that working harder was the only answer. Daniel continued. When I was your age, I thought success meant reaching a certain place. I thought one day I would finally feel like I had made it. He smiled slightly. But life taught me something different. What? Daniel looked at his old hands. The greatest investment you can make is not only in what you own. It is in who you become. The restaurant became quiet. Emily looked at the drawings again. For the first time, she was not seeing her problems. She was seeing possibilities. Daniel folded the papers carefully. Emily, may I ask you something? Yes. If you continued living exactly the same way for the next 10 years. He paused. Where would you be? The question hurt. Not because it was cruel, because it was honest. Emily imagined herself 10 years older. Still tired. Still waiting. But then she remembered something written in the first pages of the book Daniel gave her. Growth does not begin when things become easy. Growth begins when you continue even when things are difficult. So she continued. One page. One lesson. One small improvement at a time. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. The 1 hour that once felt impossible slowly became part of her life. Something interesting started happening. Emily began noticing changes. Not just in her skills, but in herself. She became more confident. She started asking better questions. She started believing that she could create opportunities instead of only waiting for them. She finally understood what Daniel meant. The biggest change was not what she was learning. The biggest change was who she was becoming. After several months, an opportunity appeared. A small business owner who visited the restaurant often noticed Emily helping organize receipts and records during her free time. One day, the woman asked, "Emily, I heard you're learning bookkeeping. I need help organizing my business accounts. Would you be interested?" Emily froze. Her heart started beating faster. The old fear returned. What if I fail? What if I disappoint her? But another voice was stronger now. The voice she had built through months of effort. Try. So Emily smiled. I would love to help. For the first time in her life, someone was paying her for something she had built herself. It was not a huge amount of money. It was not a big company. But to Emily, it meant everything. Because that small payment represented something much bigger. Proof. Proof that she was capable of creating a different future. That night, she sat in her apartment holding the payment in her hands. She smiled. Not because of the money. Because she finally understood. I am not trapped in the life I was given. I can build something new. But growth has a way of testing us. A few weeks later, everything went wrong. Emily made a mistake. A mistake that caused confusion in the business records. The business owner looked disappointed. I trusted you, Emily. Those words hurt more than the mistake itself. That evening, Emily returned home. She placed her bag down. She looked at her notebook. The same notebook where she had written her goals. And suddenly, fear returned. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I am not ready. Maybe I should stop before I embarrass myself again. For a moment, she wanted to quit. She walked to the shelf where Daniel's book was placed. She opened it. Inside was the small note she had written after their conversation. The person who never tries never fails, but they also never grows. Emily sat quietly. She thought about Daniel. She thought about the two paths. She realized something important. Failure was not proof that she should stop. Failure was proof that she was finally doing something different. The old Emily would have hidden. The old Emily would have returned to the comfort of her old life. But this Emily, the woman who was building herself, decided to face the problem. The next morning, Emily went back. She looked at the business owner and said, "I made a mistake. I understand what went wrong. I have fixed it, and I have created a system so it will not happen again." The woman looked at her. She expected excuses, but Emily gave responsibility. Slowly, the disappointment on the woman's face changed. She nodded. "Thank you for being honest." And that moment taught Emily something valuable. People do not trust perfection. They trust honesty. They trust growth. They trust people who are willing to improve. Months passed. 1 hour became hundreds of hours. One client became several. A small opportunity became a new direction. Emily's income began to change. But the biggest transformation was not in her bank account. It was inside her. The young woman who once wondered, "When does my life begin?" was no longer waiting. She had started. She was learning. She was growing. She was building. 2 years passed. 2 years of small choices. 2 years of early mornings. 2 years of studying when she was tired. 2 years of continuing when things felt uncertain. From the outside, people only saw the result. They saw Emily becoming successful. They saw her confidence. They saw her opportunities. But they did not see the quiet moments. The evenings when she wanted to give up. The mornings when she had to choose discipline over comfort. The countless hours when nobody was watching. Those were the moments that built her. One morning, Emily stood outside a small office building. She held a key in her hand. It was not a large office. It was not a luxurious place. Inside there was only a simple desk, a comfortable chair, a small bookshelf, a window where sunlight entered every morning. But to Emily, it was more than a room. It was a symbol. She unlocked the door and walked inside. On the wall was a small sign. Emily Carter, Bookkeeping Services. She stood there quietly. And suddenly, she remembered the young woman she used to be. The woman sitting alone in a tiny apartment. The woman wondering, when does my own life begin? A tear slowly appeared in her eyes. Because she finally understood. Her life did not change on the day she got the office. Her life changed on the day she decided to build. That evening, Emily called Daniel. "Daniel." His warm voice answered. "Emily, it is good to hear from you." She smiled. "I wanted to tell you something." "What is it?" "I opened my own office." There was a moment of silence. Then Daniel laughed softly. "I knew you would." Emily smiled. "How did you know?" "Because I saw something in you that day." "What?" "Courage." Emily looked around her office. "I was scared," Daniel replied. Of course you were. She laughed. That doesn't sound very encouraging. Daniel smiled. Emily, courage does not mean you are not afraid. It means you decide something is more important than your fear. Emily sat down at her desk. Daniel, I understand now. Understand what? She looked at the papers beside her. The problem was not that I wasn't working hard. I was working hard every day, but I was only maintaining my life. She paused. I wasn't building it. Daniel became quiet, because he knew she had finally understood the lesson. Do you remember the drawing I gave you? Daniel asked. Yes, I still have it. Good. Why was that drawing so important to you? Daniel took a deep breath. Because I spent my entire career designing buildings. I learned something. What? No beautiful building appears by accident. Before people see the finished structure, there are thousands of invisible decisions. The planning, the patience, the corrections, the work nobody notices. He paused. Life is the same. People see someone's success, but they rarely see the foundation underneath. Emily looked at her office, the simple desk, the empty walls, the beginning, and she smiled. A few weeks later, Emily visited Daniel. She brought the old drawing with her. I kept it safe. Daniel smiled. You were supposed to use it, not just protect it. Emily laughed. I think I understand now. She opened the paper. I thought changing my life meant finding one big opportunity. Daniel nodded. But it wasn't one big moment. No, it was one small decision repeated every day. Daniel smiled. Exactly. Emily looked thoughtful. Daniel, what would you tell someone who feels stuck like I did? The old architect looked at the window. Then he said, I would tell them this. Do not wait for your life to become easier before you start building. Start with what you have. Start with where you are. Start with one small action. Because small actions repeated over time become a completely different life. Emily carried those words with her. Years later, whenever someone asked her how she changed her life, she never talked only about the money. She never talked only about the office. She always told them about a question from a 70-year-old man. A question that changed everything. Emily, what are you building? Maybe you see yourself in Emily. Maybe you work hard. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you feel like your effort disappears without results. But remember, a different future is not created overnight. It is created through small choices repeated every day. One skill, one habit, 1 hour, one decision. So tonight, ask yourself, am I only maintaining my life, or am I building the life I truly want? If you are starting something new, leave a comment. I am building, and share what you are working toward. Your words might become the encouragement someone else needs today. And if this story touched your heart, subscribe for more stories that remind us. Your life is not just something that happens to you. It is something you build. Because the question is not, how hard are you working? The question is, what are you building? The end.